everybody, welcome back. We're doing another Marvel Future Revolution video. This time we're going to be looking at the patch notes that we're getting here tonight. It is January 11th and we're getting a patch tonight. It's supposed to be a balanced patch. And I will say real quickly, while I have not read these in detail, I have been talking with people all day, seeing little snippets, and it does not seem like there's a lot of happy people, except for if you're going to play Star-Lord or Iron Man. So that's the quick and short of it. We got Black Widow nerfs, we got CM people just raging. Spider-Man people seem to be like, okay, that might be all right. Storm just seems like, where's my iframe? Captain America, okay. Doctor Strange are like, where's my buff? So that's the quick and dirty. So if you stop by for that, thanks. Appreciate you. If you want to help the YouTube algorithm out, comment below. Tell me what you think is good and bad about this. And let the video play if you want. Maybe turn it, whatever. Anyway, hammer down like button, click notification bell, subscribe, all that thing. And let's check out the notes.
Bring me WolverThor!
All right, so like I said, people are raging. This is happening tonight. It looks like 1:30 in the morning Eastern time. We get an Omega supply box. That's typical. Details, hero balance adjustments, right? Blah, blah, blah. And then they go to the detailed. So then you click on this, you get to your detailed section. And this is the part where people are sort of raging. So here, Captain America. Target off, untargetable. This is your iframe. Will be added on some skills of Captain America so they can lead into battle. Target off refers to when the target indicator is removed, we know that. In addition to fortify his combat skills, some stats for Captain America will be changed to highlight his potential. We already knew about this. The status effect resistance will be replaced with crit damage. And also HP recovery will be replaced with a cooldown decrease to make him more active in combat. So that seems pretty good. I'm happy about HP recovery is wah. So decent buff there. I'm still torn about the status effect resistance versus crit damage, but he should hit harder, so we'll see how it goes. It looks like we got the target. So on his spearhead ability, go the distance forward, frontward resolution. It's going to be an iframe, target off, whatever you want to call it. While it's in motion, great. We already talked about the two potential changes with the crit damage. And that's a decent, actually, amount of crit damage. And they're both in level 3. Cooldown decrease of 4.14. Okay. All right. I think I'd rather have those stats than the ones on the front end, to be honest with you. Now, status, again, I mentioned status effect resistance. We'll see. Captain Marvel. This is the part where I am seeing the most rage all over the place. Anybody who's playing Captain Marvel and had that dodge build, they were pretty upset by whatever we're about to look at. Now, I don't play her, but what we're going to see is a cooldown increase on these things. And you can see them off to the side over here right now, but it specifically says the cooldown of some target off skills and specializations are increased, which frankly was needed. Obviously to compensate that, they increased the damage. The damage of these skills is also increased to slightly affect the weakened situation. So they've got the Mighty Flight, the Lightspeed Dash, they do an increased damage, and the Energy Impact, the Cosmic Recharge, also damage increase. Now the Photon Flight and the Photon Flight Further and Faster, they've got the 50% increase and a damage increase. So it's like, okay, all right, well, you sort of expected these things a little bit. Cooldown 50% increase. I can't really say if this is going to be fair or not until we actually see it in gameplay. So I'm going to say that first. And honestly, I can say that for a lot of these that I'm going to get through. There's a couple, one of which I'm about to get to in a second. It's sort of like, that seems like it's going to be hard. Now, we'll see. Again, we'll see. Caveat. These all need to be played out in game. Do not let yourself be like swayed one way or another on these until you actually get the chance to play them. Some of them you can tell, but still, let's just give it a chance, right? Battle skill. Now, this is one, we've got a similar one we're going to see later. Photon absorption. It was no cooldown. Now it's 10 seconds. The dodge protection is going from 6 seconds to 10 seconds. Now, I will say that the dodge that she had was pretty OP. She was invincible, like, nonstop. So some of these cooldown increases did need to be, but all of the Captain Marvels are talking about just how this is like terrible. So we'll see how this really ends up sitting in, but I know Captain Marvels are pretty upset about this. Iron Man, some of Iron Man's skill damage will increase. Why? He doesn't need that. School of some skills will increase their damage as well. So the spin blade, well, first, the tactical satellite and arc energy both get damage increases. Great. Or party time protocol. I don't think they needed that, but okay. Nanite plasma, the spin blade, it gets a damage increase and a small cooldown increase. Now, I don't know why that, like, why isn't it up like 50, like Captain Marvel? You know what I mean? I'm like, okay, I get it, it's half, but I don't know. I mean, again, I hope they tested these, but his spin blade was already sort of like, it was too much. People were spamming that thing. Spider-Man. So there's a lot here. So his performance will be further strengthened and some changes will be applied to his potential. A lot of the same stuff that they had before, but is somewhat held back in terms of attack. And his status effect resistance will be changed to crit damage. I like that. That's definitely good. So his super glue grenade damage increase, 15%. Great. The gyroscope from the Wedcraft, 10% increase. Great. Now the spider swings, all of these, the swing shot, the endless swing, the spider ambush, and the web swing, they all gave a cooldown of 25% increase with a damage increase. I'm not super, like, I feel like this is probably justified a little bit. These guys were swinging way too much, so we'll see how that sort of shakes out. The damage increase to compensate that makes sense. I just hope that it feels that the actual cooldown increase is going to make a difference. And then for all of these down here, where it's the Grand Grenade, Electro Web, Taser Web, Spider Bot, Hologram, and the Ultimate Spider Burst, skills that stock shock when the skill lands. Before, it decreased attack by 25% for 7 seconds at max stacks. Now it's going to do it a little bit better. So this is actually a buff, an additional 5% for an additional second. So I will say that it looks like they're leaning into some of that by the decreasing of attack for a little bit longer. I'm down. Okay, I think I'm good with that. The specialization, the Scorpion's Pursuit, again, one of these no cooldowns up to 10-second cooldowns. Like, I just feel like these are so high. I'm like, all right. Now again, some of what he and Captain Marvel do were needed things like that, but I do question whether 10 seconds is a bit high. And then we talked about the potential change before with status effect resistance is now going to be crit damage. All right, I'll take that all day long. I don't even play Spider-Man. Storm. All right, so let's see what they did with Storm. And actually, I can look at it right here. I can already tell. So all of these abilities that stack shock, instead of, it's another buff where it's 5% additional decrease for attack for an extra second. So if it's basically leaning in a little bit more for some of these stack abilities. I like how this is incremental, where I don't feel like stuff like this is incremental. That feels like a jump or a leap. So I would have made this more like 5 seconds and seen after that. It's like, all right, is this still, and then been ready to adjust it again to maybe, 3 seconds or 7 seconds, depending where it was at. But I'm not a coder, so I don't know how hard or easy that is. And then Storm's chill stack or chill skills is similar with what we've got with the shock, except for movement speed. It says decreases movement speed and dodge right by, it used to be 30%, now it's 36%. It used to be 7 seconds, now it's 8 seconds. So again, a buff on that where it's gonna keep you slower for longer. I'm okay with stuff like that if it makes sense and doesn't seem too OP. The specialization, protection of the wind, it used to be a 75% probability to recover 60% stam. I guess there were some people sort of abusing this a little bit. Maybe not abusing it. I mean, it's in the game, right? But it was just the stam abilities that they were recovering there were just endless, and that, but I guess they could use that in stuff like Invasion to get just crazy high scores. The after is going to be a 50% chance, so less likelihood and less stam consumed there when you're looking at it. So it's kind of like, all right, so we'll see if that balance is out. And then the potential changes, we knew about these. Accuracy changes, defense pierce, status effect accuracy, that is, to defense pierce. And the other status effect accuracy is crit damage. They're both, one's in level 2, one's in level 3. I don't love that she's using both status effect accuracies. I have to say, maybe if there's another one in her tree, I don't know her tree this like by heart, but if she had something like HP recovery or something like that, I would have liked to see that flop as opposed to losing 2 the same there. That could be a little hurtful. Star-Lord. See all this stuff? This dude finally got the rework we were talking about. So look what they talk about when it comes to elemental stacking. They can't leave out Star-Lord. The elemental stacking will be strengthened. His overall skills will be more powerful. The target off will be added to some skills. I mean, like I said, this guy needed a complete rework. His level increases. As his level increases, the less attack he has compared to other heroes. This is caused by having 3 status effect accuracies through the potential enhancement. So they're going to replace some of those, obviously. So skills, they're going to add an iframe to the problem solver, rewind, explosive, credenzo, rapid fire. So those are going to be target off ability there, and is there? I thought I heard there was 2. I only see that one. Okay, so this set here, so the problem solver set they've got here, you're going to be able to iframe those. All right, I mean, I guess pick what you want there. The gravity bomb, it's increasing the range by 20%. The flame cannonball, I believe that's his big damage dealer. That's cooldown decreased by 50%. All right, so he's going to be hitting harder. He gets an iframe. He gets to throw that gravity bomb further. The battle soundtrack noise pollution, it reduced. So afterwards, you cannot use dodge for 3 seconds. Reduce the skill range compared to the skill. Change the PvP specialized skill before decreased attack. Okay, so before it was a decreased attack for 8 seconds. Now it's you can't use dodge for 3 seconds, and it decreases movement speed for 3 seconds upon hit. So that's actually talk about a lockdown there. You want to lock somebody down with that and you blast them. And honestly, that sort of makes sense for this guy. He should be doing stuff like that. This fits the kit right. We'll see how this does in battle, but it feels right. The more stacking here. So for all of these burn abilities, all of them lifted over here. I'm not going to go through each one of them. Basically, it increases damage received. The boost goes from 20 to 24%, so an additional 4% for an additional second. So more damage for a little bit longer. So yeah, you gotta like that if you're Star-Lord, which you're probably not out there. You might be re-rolling. The shock abilities, again, over here to the left, it decreases attack by an additional 5% from 25 to 30 for an additional second from 7 to 8 seconds. So again, these are all going to be increased percentages for longer. And then the chills, it decreases movement speed and dodge rate by 36% as opposed to the 30, which we talked about before, and the 7 to 8 seconds. Okay. So potential, both level 3, you lose status effector accuracy, which you're going to get some additional crit rate, and you're also going to get defense pierce. I don't love losing 2 status effect accuracies on this guy, but I mean, I guess it makes sense for these 2 stats. I'd rather have those than anything, to be honest with you. But yeah, he needs them. We'll see how these work, because losing this could cause issues with not getting these to land, but we'll see. Black Widow. This breaks my heart. As a Widow. So I know obviously a little bit about this one. The sticky bomb, 10% damage increase. Okay, fine. Quick step. Where does it say non-targetable? It says that it should be. Look, unless they actually change something in the game, you can still hit her, and there are moments you can target her in it. I don't know. Maybe I'm missing something there. But the quick strike or quick step strike, the cooldown is increased by 50% and the damage in by 10%. It feels like that's a lot. We'll see. But the part that really hurts her, this improvising. You used to not have any cooldown on this. Now it's 10 seconds. I will say as a Widow, this was critical for me to get my abilities off. So I have a feeling, and we'll see, but my gut feeling tells me that everybody's Black Widow builds, that if they went towards this and they had certain things, that they're going to have to change, that she's not going to be able to do what she needs to, or you're going to see a lot of Black Widows running around for more hit you and then run away, because they can't use their abilities, which frankly, that's not fun gameplay for me. And same thing with bosses. I have a concern that I'm going to be sitting there just basicking, and I'm like, okay. So whereas I might have wanted stam recovery, now I'm like, I want my cooldown reduction. I don't know. We'll see how that shakes out. I was super bummed to see this. I was kind of like, really? Like, okay, I get some of this maybe, but this, like, really? 10 seconds? Anyway, Doctor Strange, everyone was sort of expecting some buffs for him. What I've heard is people are not happy with what we're about to see here. So what they say is his power will be strengthened for the to further highlight his supremacy. It'll destroy enemies' guards to keep them at his mercy. So we'll see about guard breaking. I've heard that it was from like lowest to low, which is kind of like, it's not really a guard breaking thing, I guess. But and show off his outstanding skills. Doctor Strange is a hero that can use powerful skills, but each skill has a rather long cooldown. For that reason, he has developed to acquire cooldown reduction stats through enhanced potential specializations. But this rather acted as a factor that made agents feel as if he lacked attack power compared to other heroes at his level. So they plan to change some of that. So Rings of Ragador, guard break increases by 1 level from lowest to low. And then we had a low to medium. So that feels sort of weak, but we'll see. I'm not a big fan of the guard break builds in general, honestly, except for maybe Captain America's because he can do it so quick. If Doctor Strange gets to that point and he can actually bust some abilities, then fine. Casting motion and speed improvements for Vishanti's Sacred Sword. Okay, I mean, that's nice, I guess. Maybe people will start using that a little bit more. The bladed defense, there was no skill effect before. After decreases damage received by 15 seconds for 9.5. Wow, okay, so that's actually kind of nice. That reduces some damage, so that makes you tankier. That's going to be something any Strange is going to want to look into. Because it seems like they're leaning into wanting him to be tanky. That might be a build, something that you want to look at there. The Gateway Summoning, Gate of the Edge, again, wow, he got a big damage increase here. And then the cooldown increase, which we're seeing with a lot of these damage increases. Specialization, he gets hit with this as well. The Force Field Time Manipulation, no cooldown, now it's 8 seconds. Potential changes, status effect accuracy, you're now getting crit damage. The cooldown goes to crit rate. Okay, I guess. I don't know. I mean, I know a lot of the Doctor Stranges are a little upset by this. I don't know him well enough for each individual skill. But the guard break thing is kind of like, but there might be some skill changes here. But again, the thing I don't like about this is that when you start shifting what skills people are going to use, they might have built a certain set. They can't just jump from Sakaar to Hydra or from Hydra to Midgardia. So if, Aldrich Sword is like a set that nobody had built, like that's going to be a problem. People are going to be really upset about that. So that's something to think about. All right, so they got other improvements here. Elaborate hero skill descriptions. We knew about this before, but they're just going to list the untargetables in the skills from now on, that's fine. So we know that they're the invincible effect description will be added. The invincible effect description will be added to Black Widow's ultimate skill, Vanish. Okay. If she's actually invincible at this point, that's great. But because before she wasn't, you could actually take damage in her ult. So we'll see about that. That actually could make me feel a little different about things. We'll see. Let me know if I'm missing something there, but I'm like, wait a minute. The quality of converging obtained from dismantling costumes and corns will be increased. All right. Wish I would have saved all those. Actually, I never dismantle costumes or cores, so I don't really care about that. Take that back. Improvements will be made so that agents' attack contribution to the defeat of the most wanted prime will be reset upon exiting Dark Zone. Okay. So this one. So there was an exploit going on about this that we were aware of. We actually saw specific times where people were doing this, and this is meant to fix that. So what was happening is people were coming into Dark Zone, hitting a target for a while, then leaving, letting other people hit it, and then coming back sort of at the last second and getting more damage up. But they'd sometimes remain on the leaderboard and they just shoot up the rankings real quick, or sometimes they wouldn't be on the leaderboard and all of a sudden do a ton of damage insanely quickly. So this was known by Netmarble. They're aware of it. This is their fix for it. So good on them for hopping on that right away. They got some other fixes on here. Powers intermittent, not renewed. When the joiner quitting on alliance will be fixed. Great. Issue where stamina is not consumed when utilizing skill. Storm specialization. Great. They're going to fix that. Cooldown reduction increased. Hero level, squad rank intermittently corrected. All right, most of this stuff, Italian description is fairly minor. Most wanted defeats will be changed wherein only the defeat reward of the last normal target has been attacked and obtained. Let's see. Anything good here? I don't see anything. So, an issue where the Darkstone playtime from the previous day intermittently reflecting on the day will be fixed. Supervillain Maestro Dark Zone intermittently appearing beyond the spawn area will be fixed. I wonder if that's him running away. I hope that's the case. That was so annoying. Okay. All right. So look, a lot there. This is almost a 20-minute video at this point. There's a lot. Look, I'm one of the people affected by the characters that is going to take this the hardest. So I feel your pain. I'm still going to try to wait and see how this shakes out over the next week. I'm hoping that, one, they tested this, two, that they're ready to change this real quick based on what they see from us and what they're hearing from us. And right now there seems to be a lot of rage. So Netmarble, if you're listening out there, please consider adjusting some of these based on what we feel after playing it and what you're seeing in your metrics. I'm going to leave it at that for now. I'm not going to rage at this point. I want to see how this all shakes out in the next week or so. So appreciate you guys stopping by. Hammer down like button, click notification bell, subscribe, all that thing. And until next time, I hope you have a wonderful day.